You know that moment when you watch one YouTube video and suddenly you realize you've been doing something wrong for years? And then you go down the YouTube rabbit hole? I'm having one of those mornings. Carol and I are back from our morning walk. I'm switching to my old walking shoes because I don't want my new ones that I literally just washed from the other day's work to get filthy dirty. It is overcast today, which means it's a fantastic opportunity, sorry for picking that wedgie, for doing some pruning where my happy bees love to hang out all day. Closer in a second. So I also have not drank any coffee yet today. There are bees on the plant. However, it's a little quieter than, ooh, actually there's a lot more than I thought. Huh, that's fun. I mean, they are usually pretty happy with me, but I'm gonna go put on sleeves. We are back with our sleeves on, just in case somebody gets a little testy in the morning. There might be a bee that's not a morning person. I'm sure that is the case. I love how poofy this gets, but I do like to keep it in check, and I like it to remain in kind of more of a, I guess, tree form, if you will. So that's what we are aiming for right now, just for the top. Ugh, also this is getting really long back here, so I gotta deal with that. I was doing some YouTube University studies regarding my Muscadine grape. Come on. Jeez Louise. Don't get them all mad. You made me have to lop at it 6 times. Remain calm, everybody. All right. I normally like to just do it gentle. That was a little extreme. Regarding grapevine pruning. So I have the grapevine that is currently weaving through my jasmine. And based on what I have learned, over time, it will lead my vines to not be very productive because they are not trained very well. So I feel like that might be my next garden kind of project situation, if you will be to get those pruned correctly so that I have bigger and better grape harvest. Now, right now, there are a lot of grapes on there. I might just be taking the suckers off today. These top ones, the tall ones, and calling it a day. I might wait for it to be a little colder to come in under the bottom. I just don't really feel like sticking my head underneath all these guys. Plus, I don't want to take all their food. I usually don't pick this stuff up right away either, so they can have this pile for a while as it kind of slowly dwindles. I believe I planted this here when my dad was still alive. That was like a fun fact, I guess. But these are still kind of buzzing. They're not buzzing like angrily, so I'm feeling okay still. These guys have they're pretty fat and happy on this tea tree. Let's take a sip of our coffee for a sec. Colonel is chattering with us this morning. He's like, woo, I love it when you're out in the garden with me. I'm gonna watch Colonel for a second while I'm finishing up over here. Actually, I think he just flew away. He'll be back. And then I'm gonna let these guys be. That was not even on purpose. Oh, that was really stupidly funny to me. Well, I guess I only need that footage for the very funny bee comment I made. Ta-da! Look at how much nicer it looks. So based on what I've learned for this grapevine, I should have, there's a couple of different ways of finishing. I should have, instead of this tangled mess that we've weaved here, they're like on top of each other, whatever. I should have one main trunk, and then I should give it 2 canes, which at this point, these are called cordons because they are dark, like wood, not green wood. And then from there, train the buds off of it. I'll show you a picture, I'm sure, on the screen here. Anyway, I'm not sure how to correct this mess other than I might have to cut a couple of them off and then only keep the other two that are less tangled, let the rest die on the trellis, and then retrain the ones that I have left. So I'm going to probably have to sacrifice next year for better grape management. I do have grapes under here, but it's definitely not as much as I should have. What we're looking at under here, I've got grape. I do have quite a few bunches of grapes kind of sporadically all throughout here, which I think is super cute and magical. However, not going to lead to the most productive grape situation. So I think this is not, oh my gosh, look at this. That can't be healthy. It's literally, I'll show you. We're going to have to take you off of the tripod. Come with me. I don't know how I never noticed this before. Poor, tangled. It's like being strangled, basically. So, good gravy. I screwed this up. I'm so sorry, grapevine. Overcast is making it so it feels so nice out here and not dying of heat out here. Maybe I should do this section right here, quote unquote, really quick. Apparently, muscadines don't just magically figure themselves out. So while I'm weeding here, I'm thinking through how I can solve the problem that I created. Now, one of the vines is already struggling, which is great timing because now I can completely start over without feeling guilty whatsoever when I maul it and chop it down. The other one, well, this one is producing grapes this year. So I'm not going to do anything currently. I'm just not going to touch it. Like rule number 1, don't fix what's working currently, and I will deal with that in the fall. Lots of progress. So this whole section I got weeded. There were some disgusting caterpillars in the Vanessa Bell rows I saved you from seeing. And then I replanted this, what looks like a weed, but that I believe is milkweed. So hopefully that'll take root. And then I do need to plant this sad looking pineapple, but I'm moving on for the moment. I'm going to do over there, but I'm not going to put you on hyperlapse because it's just more of the same weeding. And you get the gist at this point, right? So here's the before. We'll give you the after. I feel like I should caveat the disgusting caterpillars. So in some cases, caterpillars, I don't care. They're fine. I feel like this was the same conversation we just had for the millipedes. Sometimes they're fine, but in this case, they were on my rose and just annihilating it. So I just picked them off, threw in the bucket, and we're good to go. I'm not going to spray them. I'm not doing any other treatment. I'm literally just removing them. And they're not like a monarch or any of those. It's a type of a moth, which I'm sure serves some purpose, but right now the purpose is not serving me. Carol was super helpful as I cleaned up this Schefflera. There's something really satisfying about finally giving plants a haircut that they desperately needed. Are you looking so cute? What a good little girl you are. Oh, you're going to sit too? Should I pet you with my dirty hand? Oh, I ended up getting the Schefflera hedge cut back, which is awesome. Cut back all the salvia. Those should bounce back. I did put the little cages on them so I don't forget what's there. Leave it. I did a miniature amount of weeding, but not really. And then over here, oh my gosh, sorry, I just sneezed off camera and that's itchy my nose. I still need to come in and do a weed whipping, but we got most of this weeded out, removed those caterpillars, replanted the milkweed, haven't done anything with the pineapple. And then over in the front, I cut back the Angelonia as well, a ton of it. I cut back this grapevine entirely to one. This will be the main trunk. Looks really sad right now, but it was already looking sad, so might as well start from scratch. I'm using that Schefflera cuttings as mulch over here because I do need some mulch. But I weeded all the way through here, restrung through the Seminole pumpkin vine. Weed. We're gonna definitely need to address this vine at the end of the season, but we're gonna let all the grapes go. That was a lot of work. I have not weeded the center, so don't worry about that. And then we started the day. Look at that, it's still fairly hazy out. America! Actually started the day over here, and you can see there's, well, I don't know if you can see, but there is a lot more bee activity as the sun is starting to come out. And I still have not picked up the cuttings, and like I said, I'm going to leave those there just so that they can get the last of the nectar out of that. We're gonna finish this last little swig. Till next time, living your best Florida life.